made against Coptic Christian churches in Paris, and in Germany the Coptic community has also asked the government for protection after receiving online threats there. Well, in the studio with me is Bishop Angaelos, who is the General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church here in Britain. Bishop, thank you very much for joining us. How worried is your community?
Definitely worried. Martyrdom and persecution, not something new in our history. We've lost millions of people throughout centuries. But it's a worrying step when it takes a completely new face in Egypt with a suicide bombing that is unprecedented. And obviously with the subsequent threats that have come out, not only through Europe, but also from North America and Australia, then communities are taking more precautions.
Where are these threats coming from, do you think? Who is behind them?
It's difficult for me to speculate. Obviously, these are on the web, and they have been circulated quite widely. We have been on a heightened alert ever since the bombing in Iraq, where the Coptic Church was threatened even that far back. And since then, we've known that something is imminent. And I think it's important for us to realize that at a time like this, when people are supposed to be celebrating, I mean, if you're talking about Western Christians who would be opening presents under the tree, these are the days that we're looking forward to, coming up to our own Christmas celebrations. And people are actually in a state of mind where they're worried about walking into churches, not here, but in Egypt as well, and feeling great pain at what has happened to their own brothers and sisters in Egypt.
The Coptic Christian community in Egypt is pretty large, isn't it? It numbers something like 8 million people. What are relations like with the Muslim majority in Egypt?
Well, the Coptic Orthodox community is the largest Christian denomination in the Middle East. We've been there since the 1st century with the indigenous people of Egypt. And we number, depending on who you listen to, between 10 and probably 15 million, at least 10% of the population. Relations generally are good, but we have had a greater radicalization over the past years, and so many unresolved issues and attacks have, I think, given the opportunity for people to look at Coptic Christians as a soft and legitimate target. And that really has caused great concern, and also has caused people to go unchecked with things unresolved, and people to be without investigations to be without result.
And do you think insufficient protection from the Egyptian authorities for the community there?
We need protection in lots of ways, but it's not protection we're seeking. We're seeking a greater sense of citizenship, an active program within Egypt where every Egyptian, Christian or Muslim, feels that he or she is an equal member of society. Being able to exercise his or her faith legitimately and living that faith without fear and protected by a state that they all really call home.
Bishop Angaelos, thank you very much.